Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, hey. Well, today I wanted to ask Linsey a few questions about Hope Writers. Hope Writers is the most encouraging place on the internet for writers. And Linsey and I both have been members for a couple of years. And so I've been members since it's been 5 or 6 years. And they're opening their doors for membership next week, the 24th through the 28th of January. And I just wanted to ask Linsey a few questions about her experience with Hope Writers to give you an idea of what Hope Writers is about. So Linsey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
And I love talking about Hope Writers.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about Hope Writers?
I found out about Hope Writers through you. So ta-da, that's how I found out about it. I had never heard of them. And so probably like many people, I've noticed that there are lurkers now, that people that watch Hope Writers stuff for years before they join. And I don't understand that. I'd never heard of them. And then as soon as you told me about them, I pretty much made the leap sight unseen, I think, just from what you had told me. But once I got into it, I've never wanted to leave since. So.
Oh, good. Thank you for trusting me.
Yes, you're welcome. I mean, and I hate to talk about money like right away, but the membership is something that I think just about anybody can do, at least to try something. And so $50 is kind of my cutoff limit for my personal budget, that if it costs less than $50, I can try it, And so that's just that's a whole month of Hope Writers. And I think you'll get enough in that month to figure out if it's for you. So I would tell people, do it, it's $50. And I think they even offer it back to you if you're not satisfied or something like that. It's a pretty good deal either way. So I would encourage people to just try it.
Next week, it's they're offering a month free.
Oh, so you get a whole month free. Just yeah. Well, that's awesome.
I know, that makes it a no-brainer.
It does. It makes it completely a no-brainer.
Fine. So do you feel like the value is worth it?
Oh, totally. I don't want to skip ahead on your questions, but it absolutely is enough. I feel like just with the Tuesday teaching, that's like having a class once a week, like a college class almost, having once a week, and you would pay $300 for that, in a college arena, but you get to hear other writers and publishers and podcasters and vloggers and all these kinds of things give their, points of view and their tips and tricks and all that for the low price of, what is it, $47 a month, or free, I guess, if you're going to join. So it's at least that in itself. And every time I have to make the money argument, which I don't very often, but I say, that's it right there. Like one of those would be worth $50 a month, but you get 4 or 5 of them in a month, for the $50. So the value is outstanding for sure. And at some point, once I'm able to do it, I'll be the lifetime member too, which I know that's probably coming up too, that they'll offer that, but I'll do that as soon as I can. It's just a bit too steep for me at the moment. So
right. It's something to work toward.
Right.
So, but I think that the things you have access to for that monthly membership, all the, in the whole library, the videos, the PDF files, just
oh my goodness,
that
yes.
alone.
All
never mind that you're talking about where they add new ones
all the time, every week, right? Yeah.
So, well, when you think about Hope Writers, is there a phrase that you hear a lot in the Hope Writer community that comes to mind?
A phrase. No, I mean, I agree with you that I think it is the most encouraging place on the internet, that it's just like, no matter
Mhm.
what you're doing, if you need help with something, if you have a question about something, if you don't know what you're doing, or if you like anything that you need that's writing related, there's an entire community right there that's ready and
Mhm.
willing to answer, help you. And it's not even like the higher ups. It's not even the CEO types. It's the other members that are, watching the Facebook page for every opportunity they can to help somebody.
Mhm.
And I know I get a rush when I get to answer a question on there and get to help somebody. So I think it's just made up of a lot of good-hearted people. And so that um I mean, it's hopeful. It's a hopeful place. So I guess probably that's what I think of when I think of Hope Writers, is like it's just a joyful, hopeful place to be. So, and it makes writing a lot less lonely.
Mm. I agree with that.
Hmm.
Definitely. I love the community aspect, even though it's all online.
Hmm.
There's the community aspect of there's people ahead of you,
Right.
and there's, like you said, they're so willing to go to drop a comment of encouragement, or hey, this is what I did,
Right.
this didn't work, try this.
Right.
And then there's people behind you, and you get to help them, like
Hmm.
you get to be the one to go, oh, try this.
Right. Right.
So it is great. So finish this sentence for me. When I joined Hope Writers, I was blank as a writer. How would
When
you?
I joined Hope Writers, I was floundering as a
Okay.
writer. I was writing, and at that point, like, I don't remember exactly the conversation we had, but I remember me telling you where I was and you saying, that sounds exactly like Hope Writers stage 1. And
Yeah.
it was. So if you go take the quiz and you test into Hope Writers stage 1, that's where I was, which is at the very beginning of everything. You're trying to write, I know I was trying to get a routine down. I was trying to get to organize professional writing and personal writing, and all those kinds of things. So I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it well. Hi, kitty cat.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, kitty cat.
Yeah. They just appear out of this
Yeah.
chair. I don't know what happens. Oh, well, great. So what has changed since then, since you were floundering in stage 1?
Well, now the last time I took the quiz, I tested into stage 5, which to me is skipping quite a bit. But I did make a lot of progress in the first year. And now I think this is my second year, possibly into my third. But I think the first year I made the most progress, and now I'm building a course myself to help other writers get into a writing routine. And I described it to someone who put it in the best way I've found since, that I really like it, that I am helping other people find their process. And so I went from not having a process to writing a whole course that's going to help somebody else have a process and help them find the way that they can make sense of the time we have for writing and the time we have for other things, and how to do, whether that how to work and play, whether that work is writing work or is a day job, and then the writing is play. So
Right.
I think I've come a long way.
Yes. Yes. So what else have you accomplished as a writer since
Oh,
joining Hope Writers?
just go into that. Let's see. I'm about to publish my second novel. I have one. Woohoo! I have one self-published novel on Amazon, and I am about to do the second one through the same thing, through KDP. I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel, and I talk about writing, and I help other writers with the productivity, I create a space on YouTube to actually sit down and write, with people. So it's only about half talking, which I can deal with. It's kind of like this. I can talk to one or two people and be on the internet and not be with a whole crowd of people, but still have a writing room space, which that's another thing with Hope Writers, that I've met some more Hope Writers that way too, through their writing room that they've started.
Fun. So that was my next question. What is your favorite part of the Hope Writer community experience?
Well, I've already mentioned the Tuesday teaching, and that's probably my favorite thing that I actually use. I will not miss Tuesday teaching unless it's an emergency. But I've actually made Tuesdays my whole like writing day, which is just my fun day now, which is fun. And I would encourage other people to do that too, and like make it Hope Writer Day, because there's just so much going on. And the newest thing that I'm using is the writing room, which is just a Zoom room where people can come and go. There's not really a moderator. It's just everybody that's in there kind of decides, oh, should we go to the top of the hour? And then we put it in the chat and we go do our own work and come back and chat about what we got done and how far we've come. And, it's just a good community place to be. But my favorite thing that I don't use, and I wanted to plug this, is because it's that thing that I'm constantly trying to get back to, is the library, and it's constantly growing. And so there's no, they're always saying there's no such thing as catching up, which I believe is true. But also, like I'm in the middle of the email challenge, I think at the end of stage 2. And I want to finish that. I want to go back and like work through all the stages of the things. And so like people that have more time than I do, maybe, to sit and listen to things or can multitask like that, would benefit from the library quite a bit, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. I loved how you said that your favorite thing you haven't taken advantage of, because
I haven't used it enough. Right. That's true. Well, like I said, I think with the last time I tested it into stage 5, and that skips like 2 stages that I didn't go through, and like in the library. And so that doesn't mean, that I have missed something or anything. It just means I still have things to review and learn in there that, I may have already done, but I may have figured out by myself, and there's probably an easier way to do it if I figured it out by myself. There's almost certainly an easier way to do it.
Well, good. Well, fun. So what would you say, and you kind of already said this, what would you say to another writer who was hearing this and wondering about like having these dreams and goals, and then not knowing whether to step into Hope Writers or not?
Well, it's easy for me to say step into Hope Writers, like do it, because you won't regret it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's not, it's not like anybody's going to make you stay, but I think like even if you don't have a writing community, then this is a great one, let me put it that way. And so if you're on the fence of making the decision to join Hope Writers, let me go ahead and push you over that ledge and say, do it. If you like it, to say to other writers that are kind of in that floundering position, like, my best words of hope actually don't sound very hopeful probably when they come out of my mouth, but is that no one's going to do it but you. And that means that nobody can mess it up for you, which is a huge responsibility, and kind of a heavy thing to think about. But also it's freeing to say, I've got no one to blame but myself if this doesn't happen. Because if you don't try it, then it will not happen. That I can guarantee you. If you don't try it, it will never happen. And if you try it, it might not, but it's better. I have learned through hard experience, it is better to fail at something you like doing than it is to fail at something that's terrible, like the feeling of failure is so much worse for something that is painful to look back on. Whereas if I don't make $1 million writing books, I still wrote books and I was excited to do it.
Right.
I might never want to look at those books again, but I did, but I did them and I enjoyed them while I did them,
Right.
So that's my best advice is do it and do it,
Right. That's awesome. Oh, well, thank you for answering my questions,
You're
Lindsay, and
welcome.
thanks for being here. And I know I love Hope Writers. Everyone has kind of a different experience,
Mhm.
but that's how the writing journey is.
It is.
Everyone's journey
Everyone's
is
a little
different.
different. Yep. That's
Yeah.
true. But I think you're right. It is the most encouraging place on the internet for writers. And I don't think anybody will regret giving it a try, even if it doesn't work out. So,
Great.
and
Well,
we're
thank
there. I mean, so how bad can it
Right.
be? Right.
Oh, it's so funny. I didn't expect to cultivate relationships with real people through an online writing community.
Right.
But I have friends, and my husband will go, "Have you ever actually met these people?" And I'm like, "Well, no, but they're Hope Writers, so
Right.
they're amazing."
Right. I have friends now all over the country and
Mhm.
in different countries that are Hope writers that that I've
Cat came
that
down.
I've never met, and hopefully I will someday, but that doesn't mean we don't have meaningful conversations or I have a Hope Circle that meets bi-weekly, and it's just an encouragement, to say it's kind of an accountability / encouragement to say you are doing the things, and
Mhm.
that's been invaluable, even though I've never met these people in person. It's more than a face on Facebook too, to actually chat with people, and in the writing room you get the same kind of experience because it's Zoom, that it's just people just chatting, even though we could be across the table, but we're across the world,
Right.
but we have the same goals, we have the same ideas of, and the same struggles, which I think is probably most important.
Right. Right. Well, good. Well, thank you. I appreciate your
You're
time.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, right. Bye.
Bye.
Getting off Zoom is so like I don't want to go. I don't want you to hang up. Just stop recording.
Okay.
It's so awkward.
I know.
I haven't figured out a way to not be awkward.
That's okay.